Hello, friends. Welcome back. I have a little bit of time in my day to play a chess game, so give it our best and see what we got. E4. At E4, I'm going to play a Sicilian. And an open Sicilian. It's all book, so I'll play this fairly quickly. And now, oh, he takes. He takes. So I'm going to take towards the center. Takes. Oh, I have a history with this individual. I've played him before. I wonder what kind of game it was. So he defends his central pawn. I'm going to, I suppose I'm going to get the knight out, just develop the knight. I don't see any other like tricks. Any checks just get blocked. Let's just get the knight out. Now I think I might push the queen to my normal Paulson setup on c7 because I do love the queen on this diagonal in these e6 Sicilians. I'm gonna have a very strong center. Let's go ahead and develop the queen. Avoid any pin ideas. My c6 pawn is doing a great job keeping the knight out. So I don't need to worry about a6. And I can just continue on development. I could go ahead and just push a5. I could go a5, yeah. Because I think I want my bishop on c5. And knight a4 chases the bishop, and the bishop will have somewhere to go and stay on this diagonal. I'd love to keep it on the a7 f or g1, the a7 f1 diagonal, because that just looks very nice with my typical fishing pole ideas of pushing h5 and knight g4. Then there's the question of the light square bishop. That's going to go g7 or I don't know, a b7 or a6. Yeah, I'm going to go a5. I did slow down on that move, start to think a little bit, and spent 2 minutes. So I'm glad to be spending a little bit of time thinking about my moves. Breaking my blitz habits. I think White wants his dark square bishop on e3. I would love to get my bishop to c5 if he'll let me, but I think he's going to develop, well, maybe he's not going to develop to c3, to e3. I don't see any reason not to develop to c5 now. I could show my cards with h5 and just let him know I'm not planning on castling. But I generally like to hold my cards a little closer to the chest and not advertise just yet. Plus, it's a very committal move. I can't take it back. So let's get the bishop out. If he's not going to claim this diagonal, I'm going to claim it. You know, there's ideas of rerouting the bishop behind the queen. Maybe going bishop to b7 and pushing in the center with d5. Like this move because I think he wanted maybe to bring his rook to the middle as well, and that might discourage him from this. Okay, so he goes h3, thinking that's going to keep my knight out. But I'm going to go h5 and say I'm going to put my knight there anyway. If bishop here, for instance, knight g4 takes, my rook is open. He can block. No, he can't because my wonderfully placed bishop here pins the pawn, and I could just take. So that's not an option. So I think my knight's coming to g4, and there's not a lot he can do to stop that. What can he do? White feels like he's in trouble already. Like, I don't see what White's plan is. Okay, that does protect. Okay, so knight here takes, attacks the queen, and he would be forced to take back. He wouldn't have time to press the G pawn to block the queen. So the knight's coming here anyway, and I'm threatening mate in one. Maybe he thought queen here and bringing the bishop out to support the bishop here. Bishop takes, but now there's no time because I'm threatening mate in one. Although bishop here attacking the queen. Ouch. Maybe I didn't think that through incredibly well. Yeah, bishop f4 creates problems. Maybe I have to block with the pawn and cut my queen off from the attack. Or attack the queen myself, attack his queen. Then he just forms a battery on my pinned knight. Hmm. Well, what do we have here? I could block with a knight. Attack the queen. He goes queen g3, and then I support the knight. He takes once. I take once. My queen's blocked from the beautiful diagonal, and I've got some split pawns on the queen side then. Do I block the bishop now with the pawn? Bishop retreats. My knight's still hanging. Where do I block it with the bishop? Attack the bishop with the bishop. Takes, takes, takes. Would result in mate. So he couldn't take the pawn back. He wins the knight. I don't think this works. Bishop blocks. Bishop takes. Queen takes. Pawn takes. Pawn takes. Threatening mate. I'm attacking the queen. But the queen can block here because this pawn is not pinned anymore. And I'm down a knight. Yeah, I lose a piece. I lose a piece in that situation. So, no good. I think I might have to block with the knight and deal with split pawns on the queen side. Block with the knight. He goes queen here. He's got a double attack on the knight and the G pawn. I block with the bishop, for instance. He takes the G pawn, and that doesn't look great. I might just have to bite the bullet and block here. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so my fishing pole didn't work this time. That's okay. Still in the game. Softened up the d5 square a little bit. So he retreats his bishop, I retreat my knight, and we play a game of chess. Still have the opportunity to push um, d5 at the right moment. Do I attack the bishop again? Queen doesn't have access anymore. There's no more mate threats. So the knight is under attack. I'm going to retreat the knight this way. I'm defending f7 and the rook guards the knight, but that hangs the h pawn. I've gotten into the weeds here with a fancy trick that I got used to working. I felt like it was going to work without really calculating it. But that's okay. I can calculate my way out of this. Do I have to hang the h pawn, knight back? I mean, just attacking the bishop seems very silly because the bishop retreats and I still gotta bring the knight here and hang the pawn. Otherwise, I'm bringing the knight back to G or to F6 and I lose a pawn here. Takes. Queen takes. Excuse me. And he's attacking my rook. Maybe then I can swing the rook over here, though, and be useful in the G file. If I have to give up a pawn, let's give up the G pawn because I can push D5 in the middle of the board and have um, some freedom for my light square bishop because I haven't committed it over here yet. And if I can jar this pawn loose, I might be able to get freedom back for my queen as well. That's assuming that the center doesn't get ripped open with rooks in the middle. And my king isn't terribly exposed, which it is going to be. Queen takes, rook here, d5. Oh, white gets a move. I'm going to play my move without thinking too much about it. I would imagine a rook towards the middle. Oh, well, or mate. So that does guard against mate immediately, allows him to take, but that lets me take here. I'm going to play d5. He can't push because the f pawn is still pinned. If he moves his king to the corner, I can take, and we're threatening to open up a check. Might have just squirmed out of this, maybe. Why not just gut taking back? Initiative is powerful. Use initiative. All right, so I check. He checks. I run. Maybe I take with the bishop. He checks. I run. He checks. I block. He checks. I block. He checks, that's a perpetual. Forcing moves, force wins. Check to the corner. Check. King takes. Check. King takes. That doesn't work. Need support for the queen. What about checking with the bishop? Queen takes. Check. Queen takes. Bishop takes. Rook takes. Is not possible because the queen is guarding the pawn now. So I would give up 2 bishops and a rook for the queen. Is that enough? Do I have enough momentum? Bishop, check. He could take with the king. Rook, check. And king forward. This check would be answered with rook takes check. King has to run here or here. And that's, if the bishop isn't here, that's met with queen here. King runs. Bishop here. This is complicated. I don't know if I'm going to get out of this or not, but I'm going to have fun trying. So I don't think the bishop sack works. Maybe it does. I might be able to work something out there, but bishop takes, the king can take, or the queen can take. If the queen takes, I'd sack the rook. I give up 2 bishops and a rook, which is still a material deficit, but I've got the queen and a rook to try and make something happen in a very exposed game. If the king takes, still get to check. King comes up. Maybe I sidestep the check. I'm gonna do it. I gotta move and stop thinking because I'm down to 1:16. So we're gonna see if this works. You could just sidestep, but then I get to check with the bishop. That's a whole complicated line I haven't calculated. And then he could take. I might be able to squeeze in over here and check. Messy game, but fun. Spent almost 5 minutes on that. He took with the king, so I'm going to take a check. And He moves up. I think I'm just gonna side step. My sidestep, I'm giving up this check and this check. And I could block and I could go for the perpetual and hope he doesn't have anything better. I think that's the best I have. Where's my continued attack, though? He's got 10 minutes to figure it out. Forcing moves, force wins. But if you don't calculate them all the way, they force losses too. Just take here, threaten mate and well, it's not mate and one. The queen's protecting. And I'm looking at pushing and coming in with the queen. So he may have nothing better than the perpetual. If he checks here, I can sidestep here. And I'm good. Oh, it's an interesting choice. Now this is mate. No, this is mate. No, it's not. I block. You could trade queens. And that's what he's going to do. He's just going to trade pieces down into a winning endgame, a piece up. Good for him. He calculated the simplest way there, I think. As long as I had pieces on the board, I think I had a shot, but no more. I don't believe I can work my way out of this now, unless he just falls asleep at the wheel and blunders entirely. So he's going to get to even the score up on me. Be interested to see where I went wrong. I know I went wrong, like missing that fishing pole calculation and calculating the bishop to f4. Now I'm going to lose a piece because I move the bishop and he skewers my king and rook. So there's no getting out of that. I'm just going to resign. Good game, friend. Good game. Let's look at the game review and see if I ever had a shot. I played it with 85% accurately, like a 2100. I played that very well. My opponent just outplayed me, like a 2400. So, I mean, sometimes that happens. But no, I never had the edge. My opponent had the advantage a lot of the way through. Start the review. I played it pretty well, even though I lost it. I think my ideas were good, except for miscalculating the fishing pole. Still in book. I guess this is a book line. Taking is a book line, but I just don't see that often. 7 moves in. It would have been better for me to push the pawn in the middle. Hmm. Just to lock the light square pawn to keep the light square pawn busy, but I was happy with my gameplay here. Everything's looking good. The game is equal. This was an inaccuracy. I'm grasping here, but it's worked for me many times, and I should have just simply castled and enjoyed a comfortable position with a strong center. I really should have leaned into the strong center since he did give it to me. Um, that would have been a better choice. And here's my blunder. I give up 2 pawn advantage here, and I missed this move. Um, yeah, what can you do? That was not the most accurate move, though. He should have just taken. I didn't think he could take. What happens if he... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What happens if he takes? He takes, H takes, bishop f4, now attacking the queen. And he's up a knight. Yeah, bishop f4 now still works because he's already up the knight. And if I take the queen, he takes my queen. That's an awfully exposed king, though. I mean, I might have some good chances here. Maybe. Okay, let's go back to the game review. Yeah, the pawn move was the best. I agonized over that decision of what to do here. I'm glad that I found the best move, at least. He found the best move. I found the best move. Bishop move was also the best. This was a mistake. It's only a 1.3 edge here, and then I kind of gave him back a little bit, but I should have only gone pawn here just to defend with the queen. And not allowed him to open up the center and threaten with the rooks. That makes sense. The rook move was an error, though. That was a mistake. He should have threatened to trade queens immediately. And this was just a desperate effort, calculation, hoping that I could muddy the waters enough to sneak something by. Doesn't work, though. I should have just taken with the rook. I should have taken with the rook. And then, what's his best move here? King h1. Let's go to the corner. Hide. Rook g6. Threaten the queen. And rook takes e5 check. King. Oh, bishop e7. Bishop e7. It wants me to bring the bishop back. Not move the king. Oh, bishop e7, not e6. e7. e7. This is looking awfully uncomfortable, but very messy. I don't know. He gets his other rook in the game, and that just all seems like a slow and painful death. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that game, friends. It was fun to try and get out of the situation, but I suppose the best way to get out of those situations is to not get yourself into them. Like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed that. Come back and watch some more chess.